There's a difference between having listeners and having a dedicated fan base. You've got your music, you've got social media content, but how do you make those listeners, those followers, become fans? Let's talk about that. Getting your first 1,000 fans, even getting your first 10,000 fans is very difficult. Where do you find them? How do you attract them? Most importantly, how do you keep them? I'm going to answer all of that in today's video. And this one isn't just for those people starting from scratch, because yes, I'm going to teach you how to get those fans if you've just started releasing music, if you've just started even thinking about having a music career, but I'm also going to teach you how to keep those fans dedicated, how to keep them loyal. So this video is for you if you've got no followers or you've got 100,000. A fan base by definition is fans of a person or a group considered a distinct social grouping. And the key words in that are social grouping, because that's a community. And that's what fans are. They're not listeners. They're not followers on Instagram. They are a community. So they're not just going to listen to your music. You're going to put music out and they're going to stream it. They're going to download it. They're going to share it with their friends. You're going to put content out and they're going to DM you. They're going to share it. They're going to like it. And then you're going to start selling stuff like merch and tickets, and they're going to buy it. That's what fans are. So let me kick off. Let's explain how you're going to do this, how you're going to get those fans, how you're going to keep them dedicated, how you're going to keep building on that fan base. But before anything else, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell so you're notified when we upload, and join the community, because we're now uploading 3 times a week. I've also got a bonus tip at the end of this video, and that's for the people that want to get 1 million fans, not just a few thousand. So if that's you, stick around to the end. So I've explained that a fan base is a community, but what if you don't know what your community is? You don't know what kind of fans you need. That's completely normal. As an artist, you're releasing music. You know what target audience you want to have, but it may not actually be the audience that likes your music and engages with your content. So first of all, you need to start joining communities. Join communities that at the end of the day, you want to be leading. You want to be the person that everyone's looking up to, that comes to for advice. And you can join these communities by following similar pages on Instagram and jumping into those comments. Joining Facebook groups and engaging with those people. Joining subreddits on Reddit. Whatever you do, join the community, and that's easiest on social media. But joining a community doesn't just mean spamming these people with your music, it means adding value. So adding value to that community could be teaching them something that you know. It could be discussing your journey if they're at a similar level to you. If you're adding value to that community, you're going to become part of it. So that means you're that step closer to leading that community. Our personal favorite is Instagram, because you can join a community so easily. There are Instagram pages which are educating musicians, which are dedicated to emerging artists, and our page is exactly that. So if you jumped into the comments, you'd see artists at a similar level to you, so you can start engaging with them. And eventually you're going to be able to jump into the DMs. You're going to build relationships. The next thing you need to make sure you're doing if you want a dedicated fan base, if you want to start building those fans immediately, is being consistent. And yes, you need to be consistent with your music. You need to be releasing as often as you can. We found the most successful timeline is usually every other month, because this gives you a month prior to release to be pushing it, and then a month after release to be pushing it out, and then you can start focusing on the next track. This sort of timeline gives you the time to promote the track, but also give your audience the chance to engage with it, share it, and then eventually get excited about the next release. Because have you ever fallen in love with an artist, found one track that you love, and then gone onto their Spotify, gone onto their SoundCloud, and found that they haven't released a song in like 6 months? It's annoying, and the chances are you're not going to follow that one song and then wait another 6 months for another song. There's just so much music out there. The competition is huge, so you need to be consistent with your releases. We'd also suggest in these early stages sticking to a certain style, because your fan base isn't dedicated yet. Yeah, they might be listening to your songs casually, they might follow you on Instagram, but they're not dedicated enough yet to listen to every single song. So if you stick to the same style, it means that they're going to like it because it's similar to your other material. Of course, you need to have the artistic freedom. You need to be able to do what you want to do, release material you want to release, but at the same time, there has to be a little bit of a happy medium. You need to be keeping your fans loyal, giving them content that they want to engage with, giving them content that they're going to enjoy, whilst at the same time releasing music that you're enjoying. So find a style you like. If you're an indie rock band, stick to that sound. If you do house music, stick to that sound. Find your sound and then release consistently. And then once you've got a really loyal fan base, that's when you can start experimenting with your sound a little bit more. You also need to be consistent with your social media content, because that's where the listeners are going to go to. They're going to find you on Spotify, they're going to find you on YouTube, they're going to find you on SoundCloud, and they're going to fall directly onto your socials, because your socials should be linked on all those platforms. And if they like your music enough, they're going to want to engage with you, and that's where social media comes into play. The thing with social media is a lot of artists think they should just be posting about the music, but if someone likes your music, They don't want to hear more about it. They want to engage with you on a personal level. And that's where you need to be creating content that adds value to the consumer. You need to have a content strategy which is perfect for your target audience. So in the first tip, I said you need to find a community, you need to join it. Once you've done that, you can basically ask these people what sort of content they want to take in. Or you can do some market research. You can look at people that are leading that community and look at what content they're putting out, because they're the successful ones. But at the end of the day, you can't copy them because they're at a different point in their career. There's no point copying Drake's social media content because he's at that stage. He's at the stage where he can put out whatever content he wants, and because his audience love him so much, they're going to engage. Whereas you're at the point where you're looking at building your fan base. You need to add value. So see what artists are doing in those earlier stages, but doing successfully. And once you found that theme, stick to it. We always say there are 3 types of content you can create. And I've done a full video on this, so I'll make sure to link it below. And those 3 things are educating, documenting, and entertaining. So find one of those 3 things that is fitting for your audience and fitting to your personality, your style, and stick to that theme. Instagram is the best platform to be building a fan base right now because the organic reach is fantastic. It's a lot better than Facebook, and it's so easy to engage with your listeners. You can easily transform someone from a casual listener into a dedicated fan by using Instagram because you can basically engage with them so personally. You have the DM feature, you have comments, you have stories. And that leads me nicely into my next point, which is engage with your audience. If you're engaging with your audience, they're going to no longer be an audience and they're going to be a dedicated fan base because you have that relationship, you've built up that trust. So by the time you're releasing music, you're releasing tickets, you're releasing merch, they're going to purchase it, they're going to listen to it. They're just going to engage with you. And that's what a fan does. So you're releasing consistently, you're putting out that social media content, but then you need to engage with them through stories, through live, through comments, through DM, anything that shows those followers that you're dedicated to them as well. So you could be going live once a week, once every other week, with you in the studio, with you freestyling, with you playing live, whatever you can offer your audience, which you know they're going to enjoy. And then you've got stories. We suggest uploading stories at least 3 times a day. And you can be a bit more spontaneous with this. This doesn't need to fit your theme as much, but you can take advantage of those features. You've got those poll features, you've got Q&A. I've done a full video on how to grow your Instagram audience, how to make sure you're putting out the best content possible, and I'll make sure to link that below. And that video is for those people that want to take it that step further. They don't want to just be putting out content and fingers crossed it's doing well. They want to grow their audience rapidly. And my final tip for growing that audience and transforming them into lifelong fans is playing live. The reason that playing live can be so beneficial is because when you play live, you're at your best. You're bringing that music to life. You're standing right in front of them so you can speak to them directly. You can stay behind after the show to speak to the audience. You can so easily transform someone from a casual listener into a lifelong fan. We would suggest playing live about every 3 months as an emerging artist because you basically have quite a small audience at this point, and if you keep pushing live events from them, they're going to get bored of it. They're not going to be able to come and see you live every weekend. So if you're playing live in the locations where your audience actually is, but every 3 months or so, then that means you're going to be selling it out rather than playing gigs every weekend to 5 people. You can find where your audience is by looking at the Instagram statistics, your Spotify listeners, or having personal relationships with your fans and just speaking to them about where they're based. You can do polls on your Instagram story, you can do Facebook polls if you have an audience on Facebook, and you'll be able to see where people are. You can ask them where your next gig should be. But playing live is where you can bring it to life. It's where you can transform someone from a listener to a fan. But you're only going to do that if you're playing a fantastic set. So make sure not to play a show live until you have perfected that set. And we've done a full video, a full podcast on how you can be playing the best live show possible, and I'll make sure to link that below. But time for that bonus tip. This is the one that you've been sticking around for, so thanks for watching the whole thing, and if you've got this far, make sure to hit that like button. And this bonus tip is collaborating with other artists. This one is fantastic. We've seen this blow artists up overnight because if you're collaborating with an artist that's slightly more successful than you, they've got a bigger audience, and that's an audience that you're going to reach and you possibly would never have reached before. If you collaborate with a successful artist on content for your social media, music videos, or potentially a track, you're going to be getting out to those listeners, getting out to those fans. We've seen an artist release their debut track and it went okay. They released their second track and collaborated with a major producer and it blew up. They got on so many Spotify editorial playlists, they got featured in some major blogs. That artist obviously shared it all over their socials and their following just went crazy. The streams went flying up. their fans were just growing overnight and they were engaging with them, and that was all because of the collaboration they did. Another example of this is actually collaborating with other content creators, not musicians. And I use this example because we've seen it happen so successfully with a track where an artist used a content creator called Liza Koshy. He released a music video which she featured in, and then she shared it all over her socials, and it just went crazy. And all the comments on that video are stating that they're there for Liza, but they're all saying that they love the track, and that track has millions and millions of views. The streams are insane, and it shows that if you collaborate with people that do have an audience, that audience is going to move over and become your audience too. And if your music is strong enough, that audience is going to become fans. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed so you can join the community, and make sure you hit that bell so you're notified when we upload. We're uploading 3 times a week now, so I hope you guys are enjoying that content. We'll be back soon with more music marketing advice.